اللهم اجعلني فيه إلى مرضاتك دليلا ولا تجعل للشيطان فيه علي سبيلا واجعل الجنة لي منزلا ومقيلا يا قاضي حوائج الطالبين. اے معبود، آج کے دن اپنی رضاؤں کی طرف میری رہنمائی کا سامان کر، اس میں شیطان کو مجھ پر کسی طرح کا اختیار نہ دے اور جنت کو میرا مکان اور ٹھکانہ قرار دے، اے طلبکاروں کی حاجتیں پوری کرنے والے۔
اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم، بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم، الحمدللہ رب العالمین، والصلاة والسلام علی سیدنا و نبینا حبیب الہ رب العالمین ابی القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلیہ الطیبین الطاہرین المعصومین المظلومین ولعنۃ الدائم علی اعدائہم اجمعین من الان الی قیام یوم الدین۔ اما بعد، فقد قال رسول اللہ فی دعائه اللہم اجعل لی فی الی مرضاتک دلیلا ولا تجعل للشیطان فی علی سبیلا واجعل الجنہ لی منزلا ومقیلا یا قاضی حوائج الطالبین۔ As we know that every day there is a special dua prescribed by the Prophet. These duas are recorded in the book of Mafatihul Jinnah by Sheikh Abbas Qummi. And Alhamdulillah, God have given us tawfiq to really kind of translate and shed a bit of light upon these duas. These duas are very important to be recited in the month of Ramadan. Every day a special dua. Today also I extend my condolences to all Mu'mineen and Mu'minat, Muslimeen and Muslimat, to all who are lovers of humanity. As a matter of fact, the martyrdom, the shahadat of Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, indeed a day of huzn, a day of sorrow. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you reward for participating in the majalises, for attending the gatherings in which the zikr of Ali ibn Abi Talib and his masaib is being recited. Just to point out to some of the importance of this dua, and then maybe perhaps we could look at parts of the wasiyat of Amirul Mu'mineen being his day today in the end, inshallah, if time permits. In this dua we ask, O Allah, Allahumma ja'alli fi ila maradatik dalilan. O Allah, today show me, guide me towards those works, towards those activities will bring about your rida, which brings about your pleasure. The pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is required by us, by our fasting, by our donating, by our sitting, eating, drinking, sleeping. We have to look into how we could please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with this act that we are performing. Although we are performing the act which God have asked us to, such as fasting, such as prayers, but it also requires that there should be some element in it which brings that ultimate pleasure of God. Not that it just be a dry act of our fasting. The second thing that we ask today is that, O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَلَا تَجْعَلْ لِلشَّيْطَانِ فِي عَلَيَّ سَبِيلًا. So we ask that somehow we should not allow shaitan to overpower us. So first is towards your pleasure. Second is not allowing shaitan overpowering us. And number three, we say, وَجْعَلْ الْجَنَّ لِي مَنْزِلًا وَمَقِيلًا, and making our abode, our manzil, our place as Jannah. Jannah which is eternal. And we say, Ya Qadi Hawa'ij al-Talibin, and you are the giver of these hajat of those who are seeking. Now, first of all, as we talk about in this dua, shaitan, it clearly says that wala taj'al lish-shaitan. Shaitan, we should know that he is aduwwun mubin. In the month of Ramadan, as the khutbah of Shabaniya indicates, that shaitan is in chain. But unfortunately, we do see that still some mischiefs takes place. And these mischiefs are really actually from the children of shaitan, are from the nafs insan. So now these fasting and not eating, not drinking should have made that nafs insan weak, and that qudra and power and will of insan greater to really fight. So here in the end it is a reminder that, oh Allah, make my actions towards your pleasure, and do not allow shaitan to really have an overwhelming, all-encompassing effect on myself. Now shaitan, we should know, he is inna shaitana lil insana adu. Shaitan is considered as an enemy. قال فبعزتك لأغوينهم أجمعين إلا عبادك منهم المخلصين. Shaitan is the one who have given an oath, pays an allegiance to God, that I am going to deviate human beings. So we got to be very careful. And it is not only that, shaitan comes and deviate and whispers, كَمَثَلِ الشَّيْطَانِ إِذْ قَالَ لِلْإِنسَانِ كُفُرْ. Shaitan comes and says, do kufr. A person does kufr. فَلَمَّا كَفَرَ. And then insan does in Surah Hashr. فَلَمَّا كَفَرَ. And he will do kufr. قَالَ إِنِّي بَرِيٌّ. But he says that I am bari minka. On the day of judgment, shaitan will say, okay, I just ask you to do it. It is you yourself who have done it. Right? So it goes back to us. If I have done something wrong, shaitan have whispered, shaitan have really trapped me, but it is me who have fallen into the trap. The shaitan will say, I asked them to do it, they did it, it's not my fault, in a way, kind of saying that. Even shaitan will kick us on the day of judgment. Right? As shaitan, how does shaitan enter us? What are the ways of shaitan that he kind of, methodology of shaitan? He gives us the information, or he makes us scary of the faqr for those who want to donate. Ash-shaytan ya'idukum al-faqr. Shaitan will, at the time of infaq, will say that, oh, if you give, you will become poor. That's how shaitan tends to really deviate insan, by making him afraid of the action that he's performing. He wants to give, shaitan will say, no, it is too much, don't give, for example, in terms of sadaqah, in terms of charity, in terms of giving. Or, for example, shaitan will give, untruthful or false or lie, sort of, in a way, to insan. يَعِدُكُمْ يُمَنِّيهِمْ وَمَا يَعِدُهُمْ الشَّيْطَانِ إِلَّا غُرُورٌ. Shaitan have given them a promise, and a promise that will make them their hopes higher, and these hopes that have become higher because of the promise of the shaitan, God says that this is nothing but a lie. We tend to see all the time that the tactics that how capitalist society tend to use, they promise these things and that things, and then when they catch us, and then afterwards they say that, oh, we didn't really promise this, this was a cheat, this was really something not right. Other thing what shaitan does is, وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانِ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. Shaitan will beautify things, will make the actions look very beautiful. Every action that is considered to be a sin, from outside, shaitan will make that person look like, oh, it's so good, so let me go and carry out that action. He will make it look very beautiful. And we tend to see that, for example, especially when we are around with shayateen, or we are in some sort of, a secular sort of a culture that have no value to ethics, to no moral values. These things, they look really good from outside. It looks like, oh, they are really enjoying, they are having fun, they are so good, doing these things. It's, that's what life is all about. But this on the surface of it, it just appears to be good. But if you really ask them inside, they themselves are stuck in it. There is no other way out. That's how they're, it's like a vicious circle. They work so hard during the weekend they have to go out and really let out that and forget by drinking, for example, right? So shaitan make things, وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانِ, Satan beautify things in order that it looks good. Now, how can we really reject shaitan, not allow shaitan to enter or overpower us? Number one is ikhlas, sincerity. That's why shaitan, إِلَّا إِبَادَكَ مِنْهُمْ الْمُخْلَصِينَ, with the fatih lam. Mukhlasin will not be deviated from shaitan. Or iman and tawakkul, one should have faith and one should trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنَّهُ لَيْسَ لَهُ السُّلْطَانَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. They should do tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and have iman, then shaitan will not come near a person. Then we should ask and seek the fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Seek Allah's help. It's like, for example, if you go to someone's house and you are scared of dogs, and this owner of the house, he has a dog. So when you go to his house, knock the door, the dog comes, you are scared of it. Now the door is open, the dog is in front of you. As you are scared of the dog, you're going to fight with the dog. The dog will chew you up. Or you're going to say, oh, the owner of the dog, come, take this dog away. So the owner of the dog is Allah. The owner of shaitan is Allah. That's why we say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. When we say we seek refuge from shaitan, from where? The owner is who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So always rely on God. Seek help from God to really come out of it. With sabr, with wanting good for others, by giving sadaqah. These are the few points that we could really benefit from not having an effect of shaitan upon us. Now, how we can see that shaitan enters a person is by ghaflat, when a person becomes forgetful, negligence. That's how shaitan tends to come. Makes you forget to pray, makes you forget to, for example, do good, obey God by ghaflat. By lying, a person when he lies, when he say, lie, that's like a great effect upon the soul of a person. He becomes immune to it, to some of many other faults. As they say that if you put all the negative things, evil things in a room and lock it, and the key for this is lying. The other is self-praise. One wants to be praised all the time, liked all the time, for example. One wants to be considered as big. This is something where shaitan really enters, that you are of some value. And we have seen in history, those who wanted a position, a maqam, they tend to make errors. Fir'aun, greatest example, right? Or others, those who really, ghadab, anger, makes it easier for Iblis to really enter into a person, So these are the things by which shaitan could really enter a person. Now, as today being the death or the martyrdom of Amirul Mu'mineen, being the shahadat of Amirul Mu'mineen, there is a wasiyat that I would recommend for all of you, and we will be, inshallah, running it as well on our show, as well on our television as well. Make sure that you pay attention to it. As the time is very short, it says that a person who recites in the 21st night of the month of Ramadan, 8 rakat prayer. And if he recites 8 rakat prayer, 7 heavens for him will be open. His du'as will be accepted. His du'as will be accepted. And near Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala there is more reward for him. And this is just reciting 8 rakat of prayer on the 21st of the month of Ramadan, and any surah that one could recite qurbatan ilallah, inshallah. Ghafarallahu lana wa lakum. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive you and myself and all mu'mineen and mu'minat, and our actions be accepted in the valley of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah. Pray for all marhumeen, pray for the shifa of mu'mineen and mu'minat. Inshallah, we will see you again tomorrow with our 22nd day dua. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.